y'all. Happy Tuesday. Happy Spoken Word Tuesday. I hope you guys Tuesdays come along fine. All right. Hey, so you guys know, hey, I done my show today, right? And it was based on restoration, right? Because what I'm about to do right now is the new covenant. Deuteronomy 18:15, the Lord thy God will raise up unto thee a prophet from the midst of thee, of thy brethren, like unto me, unto him ye shall hearken. So all the father just saying is, he's going to raise a prophet from the midst of Judah or Israel, because Judah and Israel will become one, and will become the Messianic nation who will rule, so all the Gentiles and everything will be under the rulership of this Messianic nation, right, who will be following in the Most High's ways, right, led by the Messiah, who is the King of Israel, right. So we know Yahushua was, it is God's son, and Yahushua was in the flesh, right? And the Messiah, is now with us, gathering us, or restoring us, because he is back, and he is the ending of the Messiah, okay? We will become a Messiah nation. Judah and Israel, we got to start invoking the Messiah, They're gathering the restoration, invoking the Messiah, so we can rise as a Messianic nation, right? So we had to speak the truth and unify in everything, so we can rise as a Messianic nation, so we can invoke the gathering of the restoration, so we can rise as a Messianic nation, as Judah, as Israel, who is ruling for the Most High. That's how you overcome, right? And reaching towards the goal and making the Messiah, the King of Israel, the Louis Eternal, as our prize. Revelation 14:1. Now, this is what's about the 144,000. People got a lot of things mixed up. Let's go to Revelation 14:1. Revelation 14:1. And I looked, and lo, a lamb stood on the Mount Zion, and with him 144,000, having his father's names written in their foreheads. Now, when they say, the 144,000, know that he's talking about the elect, standing on Mount Zion. Remember, Mount Zion, the pyramid of Giza, have 144,000 stones, right? Also, what they, kind of the Gentiles came and removed the stones, so we got to go back and put the stones back, which would be part of our restoration, right? Now, and, it says, and having him 144,000, having his father's name written in their forehead, which is basically T. So Jesus himself actually is converts to Louis, which is L-E-U-I-S or L-O-U-I-S. But Jesus himself, with the J being lame, turned to L, and the S turned to a W or S, converts to Louis, right? And Louis, who is eternal. So it's Louis eternal. So we have Salem, and Louis. Jesus, J-E-S-U-S, L-E-W-S. Remember, L is lame. Ancient J, Paleo J, but English is L. So in the ancient times, this J was like a lamed L, but in English it's L. And then they see S, long S, which is a W. If you turn that way, in Hebrew is that. So that's why Jesus will convert to Louis, or Louis and Salem. In Revelations 3:12, it's going to actually tell you that him that overcometh will I make a pillar in the temple of my God, and he shall go no more out, and will I write upon him the name of my God, and the name of the city of my God, which is New Jerusalem, which cometh down out of heaven from my God, and I will write upon him my new name. So, and that's what I was showing you guys. Salem, and Louis all the same, right? The new name, Louis. And again, Jesus is converted to Louis because the L is lame and the W is Sheen. So that's why Louis is being blasphemed throughout the world. If you guys see that so many people named as King Louis, and and Louis the Fifth and Louis the Sixth, and they clothes is Louis and Louis Vuitton, that's just blasphemy, or so many people named as William As you see, I am, will, I am. So the Messiah is the will of I am, okay? The Messiah is the will of I am. And, you know, you got a lot of blasphemy, so you got to be careful. Be careful with all celebrities running around here with the names of Williams and Charles and Louis. It's just blasphemy of the Father. You know, or the people changing their name, you know, from, you know, Red to Bill. You know, Bill being a short form of William, and also all the bills of the world, the dollar bill, okay? All of it is blasphemy. Louis, Charlie, Cara, they are very popular names going throughout. Just example, you got Prince William, Prince Charles. Remember, Williams is Will I Am. Charles, that's a form, you know, of Cara and Caress. So when you see them doing all this thing and banging cars and doing like that, or like I think we saw one of the celebrities bang on the car and everything, that was just blasphemy of the car. You remember car being of Carly, being of Cara. So when you got so many people, you know, you see a lot of these people sitting on these chairs and saying they King Louis or Louis, you know, or Louise. Remember, Louis, Louise is all derivations of Jesus. So right now, when we become in restoration as the Messianic form, in the end, we will become like Louis Eternal, you know, because we will invoke in the Messiah, and in the end, the final form is Louis Eternal. So again, people love to just go around and saying Louis everything. That is blasphemy. So pay attention, because remember, the Father said that his name should be blasphemy throughout, right? They would know I know his name by all the blasphemous situations, right? And that's what's going on right now. All right, so Genesis 49:10 states, the scepter should not depart from Judah, nor a lawgiver from between his feet until Shiloh come, and unto him shall the gathering of the people be. Hosea 3:5. Afterward shall the children of Israel return and seek the Lord their God and David their king, and shall fear the Lord in his goodness in the latter days. See? In the latter days, a king shall rise, another David, which will basically be the Messianic nation and everything. We will return. Right now, we are returning because Messiah is back and we are rising. So we are returning right now. We are invoking the Messiah, right? We are invoking our King David, you know, who is basically the Messiah who comes from the lineage of David, okay? That the Messiah is to be like King David. So even though people think when they say David will rise again, it's not going to be the physical David. They're actually talking about the seed of David, who's the Messiah, right? He is the seed of David, who will be like David, who will be a king like David. Now, Deuteronomy 28:68. And the Lord shall bring them into Egypt again with ships. Judah was plucked up again because Yahushua was not the final form of his human messiahship, right? So in Amos 9:15, and I will plant them upon their land, and they shall no more be pulled up out the land which I have given them. Saith the Lord, therefore, if Yahuwah was Messiah's final form, all tribes will already be gathered together in Zion during Yahushua's lifetime, and Judah will not be captive in this slave land. Yahushua is a Hebrew translation of the heavenly name Louise. Louise is where Hebrew word Levi and Leviticus derives, as Levi is a variant of Louis. Okay, remember Louis, L-E-W-I-S, L-O-U-I-S, Levi, that V-W, you know, everything is kind of like interchangeable. It's all coded in the Bible. It's because they want us to look through the glass darkly, right? So we couldn't see. But the saints, the codes are being decoded for the saints. Let's see. Isaiah 19:1. It says, the burden of Egypt, behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. Right? Now, when it says the burden of Egypt, behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud. When he says swift cloud, we're not talking about just in the sky. Now, what's in the sky is the covenant. It's the bow. The bow of the many colors is our covenant in which the Father made a promise to us. That is in the sky. That's the bow, the rainbow. That is our covenant. But when he say the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud, and when people think he's coming back in the cloud, no, that's a metaphor. What it means is he's coming back with many witnesses, right? Us. We're going to be the cloud. And also the clouds is going to be the internet, because the churches is being built on the internet, right? So now let's read that again. The burden of Egypt, behold, the Lord rideth upon many witnesses, or a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. Right. Hosea 12:13. And by a prophet, the Lord brought Israel out of Egypt, and by a prophet was he preserved. All right, Isaiah 5:26. And he will lift up an ensign to the nations from far, and will hiss unto them from the end of the earth, and behold, they shall come with speed swiftly. Isaiah chapter 2, verse 3. And many people should go and say, come ye, and let us go up to the God of Jacob, and he will teach us of his ways, and we will walk in the paths. For our Zion should go forth the law, and the word of the Lord should go forth from Jerusalem. So it's saying, during the time of restoration, these nations, these Gentiles, is going to follow our ways, and everything, going to follow the Messiah's ways, okay? And in Genesis 15:13, it says, unto Abram, know of a surety that they see shall be a stranger in the land that's not theirs, and they should serve them and afflict them 400 years. America, it is a strange land for us. And, Yahweh actually told Abraham that his seed would be a stranger in the land that's not theirs, which is America, right? And right now in America, is right now Jacob's trouble. And also during Jacob's trouble, Judah, they protest for equal rights. Now, see, Judah protesting for equal rights is not right, because remember, the Messiah is not equal, okay? Judah is a special people unto the Father. So if you're going to be a Messianic nation rulership, then how could you be equal? No. So, like I said, Jacob's trouble is just something in error. Them out there protest for equal rights and leading people in error. As you guys know, Jacob's trouble is part of the judgment, and protesting is not going to get us to the Messianic nation, but following the laws and following the Bible will allow us to rise, coming back, putting forth the laws and commandments will build us as a Messianic nation. Through 7. Okay. Here's Psalms 44, 5-7. Through thee will we push down our enemies. Through thy name will we tread them under that rise up against us. It's not going to be, that the Messiah is going to come with the war. Now, the other nations is going to come with the war, but the Father's not going to use war. But through his name will he tread his enemies that rise against us, okay? So again, we come in restoration. Even though the Bible says it come to pass wars and rumors of wars. We're talking about the other nations. But when the Father come and deliver us through the Messiah, it's going to be with truth and education, his word. So his sword will be truth, his word coming. The truth may set us free. Let's see. Psalms 85:13. Righteousness shall go before him, and shall set us in the way of his steps. And that's the Messianic nation. Once we be built and restored and everything, us, the righteousness of us, will go before him, and we will set the steps. So we will be the leaders, and they will follow our steps, right? As he set us up in the way of his steps, okay? So us as a Messianic nation, as Judah and Israel becoming one, when we be restored, he will set us up so those nations and Gentiles can follow us in his ways, okay? It's about restoration. Okay. Let's Malachi 4:2. But unto you that fear my name shall the Son of Righteousness arise with healing in his wings, and ye should go forth and grow up as calves of the stall. So it's telling you, people who fear his name, the elect, right? Not those people that's out here, we got all these camps and all this running around. Those are not the elect. The elect is 144,000. Those are going to be the ones who sit on Mount Zion with a mark upon their forehead, the tall, the T, right? Now, so it said, if we fear his name, shall the Son of Righteousness. Now, it don't say son is S-O-N, but it says son of S-U-N, because son is light of Ra, right? Ra, son, that's light. The Father is light. So it says, but unto you that fear my name shall the Son of Righteousness arise with healing in his wings, and you should go forth and grow as calves of the stall. So long as we fear his name, and, we invoke his name, and we start, implementing his laws and commandments, we should go forth. We should grow forth, right? And grow up as calves of the stall. Also, the Messiah is the head, and Judah is the head tribe, because Messiah is king. The whole world will be servants of the Most High. Like I say, the Sabbath. Right now, the world is given to the devil. So us trying to practice Sabbath, yes, Sabbath is in our heart, but there's other things that go with Sabbath that we don't even have the access to. So how can we really perform Sabbath in its fullness? We can't, because remember, the veil has been torn in half and everything. The Gentiles has taken over, made us captive, and they have removed our stones. So we had to rebuild them and restore. So we can restore back to the Sabbath. So we can restore back to the things that we was doing, okay? Right now, the role is given to the devil's hand, to Lucifer's hand. Oh, fallen angel, give it to him. So right now, those Sabbath is being made to control people. Remember, Sabbath in the kingdom is within your heart right now. You can still do Sabbath, but only being holy to the Father and making him holy, but not trying to follow the world Sabbath, okay? Remember, the new covenant is restoration. Messiah is our king. He is the king of Israel, okay? We, the people of Judah and Israel, will become one, and we will be restored as a Messianic nation. The Messiah will become a human form, and his final form will be Louis Eternal. Remember, Jesus, the J is a lame L, and the W is a she and S. They can be interchangeable. So Jesus himself turns to Louis, right? And then also the Father said he would write his name on our foreheads of the saints to reveal it, which is Louis Eternal. The new covenant is the restoration. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and comment. I love y'all. Bye.